This is Neville Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
What's up, Cowboys Nation?
What is up, Cowboys Nation? As you can see, I'm bunkered down. We got a hurricane that's supposed to be coming up, so I hightailed it out of Florida. I'm only kidding. I'm doing a little side work, and then I'm going to be coming back home driving through this hurricane. So it's going to be fun. So that's why we had to start a little late. Your boy was on the road, so hopefully you guys are doing good. Jimmy D, what is up?
Well, hopefully, first of all, everybody's safe and secure during the hurricane, and hopefully it's nothing major. Secondly, this is weeknight Jimmy, and you have me up past 9:00. I need my beauty rest, so I'll do my best.
We had to start early. I didn't get thrown out of my house. Like I said, I am hanging out somewhere. I got a little work to do. Then I'm heading back home. Hopefully, I won't be driving through a hurricane when I'm heading back home. So we'll make sure this thing is right. But just wanted to say, first of all, the show always goes on. We had to start a little late, but the show's going to go on, Jimmy. That's how we got to. That's how we do things, right?
Absolutely. You know what? No, I don't think that's the case, Falcon. But I tell you what, I don't know where Mike Tag's staying, but I'm looking over his left shoulder, and I thought I saw something about $699 a night. What kind of place you staying at? Big shot in the penthouse.
Nothing but the best for me. I said, the double tree, nothing but the best. I give them a little plug. They treat me good. They gave me a couple bottles of water over here. Give me a cookie. What more could you ask for? So, Hey, let's get into it. The season is finally here. But before I forget, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share. But the season is here. More importantly, fantasy football is going to be coming up. So we'll give a little shameless plug. Tomorrow night, we have the first annual Cowboys Cave Draft. We got all the boys. Some subscribers are coming in. We got the gang from Tuesday night. You're going to be popping in. Kelly's going to be hanging out. There's going to be a lot of smack talking, if you know what I mean. So we're going to have a good time tomorrow night. So make sure you check that out. But more importantly, Jimmy, season's over. 53. We got till tomorrow to get down to the 53. What's your gut feeling? How you feeling about the season finally getting started? We're only a week and a half away.
Let me take a step back about the fantasy football league because I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to jump in and out a couple times. We'll be taking my kid up north. He's going to play hockey upstate, so I'll be joining. But you know what? The fantasy football league, I'm looking forward to it because it's going to be a good victory for me. That's all me, baby. I'm taking the belt.
That's what you think?
I'm taking the belt. Yes.
You don't seriously think you're gonna whoop me now? So hey, let me ask you this question, Jimmy. You're a man of the people. I gotta know, what is it gonna take for Jimmy to wear a Cowboys jersey for the stream to show some love for the Cowboys? Now I'm gonna say this in Jimmy's defense. I would never wear a Falcon shirt. I would never wear any other team shirt. So I'm not expecting Jimmy to represent the Cowboys. But hey, the people have asked, so I expect an answer.
Well, okay, but I kind of have. If you guys look at the intro, I have kind of a Cowboy shirt. I mean, Cowboys Cave shirt. There's a Cowboys logo on it. So, I mean, give me a little credit for that.
You wear that, but we need to see a little bit more of it. We got Hurricane Dallas headed to MetLife. I cannot wait. We'll slap them people around. I don't like the Giants. And I had someone actually telling me that the Giants were in trouble and the Giants are a good team. You can't offend me any more than saying some BS like that. Let me tell you that.
No, I already told you. First of all, okay, well, let me talk about my Falcon. We got whooped by Pittsburgh in the last preseason game, but they had all their starters playing the first two series. We had no starters playing at all, so I can care less about that. We look good. I was very happy with the times I did see our starting offense. So like I said, we spread it out. We had a good mix of Algier and Bijan Robinson. Kyle Pitts was a great outlet for Ritter. I mean, I just like what I saw. Again, it's preseason. The Ravens have proven the preseason means nothing because they won like 25 in a row in the preseason. But again, I'm happy, looking forward to it. And to your point, look at Dallas is winning that division hands down. But like I said, I think the Giants are going to make moves for the wild card.
You think so? I don't think the Giants are going to be any good. Now, my man Falcon, he says Cowboys bye week. Mike wears the Falcons, and you wear. Listen, I'm going to tell you a little story. Can I go story time, Jimmy? Do you
Absolutely.
mind? Because
Yeah.
this is an important story, and it's what you call a life lesson. Is a long time ago, before I was married, I was dating a young lady, and won't say her name because I don't want to get sued. So we were. We're together and stuff, and she knows I'm a Cowboys fan. I got the Cowboys stuff all over the house. I was a little too broke then. I didn't have a Cowboys cave, but I had a little shelf with all my Cowboy stuff on there. And she proceeded, but you understand what I'm saying,
Yep.
Jimmy? She proceeded to come into my home with a Tampa Bay Buccaneer hat and a shirt telling me it's a gift for me. I threw it right back at her. I said, "You take that hat, you take that shirt, also take your stuff and get out of here because you are not my kind of girl." So I will never wear any other team but the
No.
Cowboys. My wife, who I've been married with 20 years, she knows that. She became a Cowboys fan for me. That's the kind of love that you get. So that's the way it goes. That's why I wouldn't expect Jimmy to wear another team. I wouldn't expect someone else to wear another team. You got to be loyal to what you got. And I do not wear anything else but Cowboys. My man Jeff, he's a member of the 505 Club. He can attest to that. He sees me on Friday night. I'm wearing a Cowboys hat, or I'm wearing a shirt, I'm wearing shorts, or all three. But that's the way it goes.
Well, it is. We talked about this. I think maybe the night had happy hour. I think we were talking about it when my kids were younger. My father-in-law decided he was going to try to pull them into the Bills fan base, and that's a bond with your kids, right? So I had to lay the law down fast. I put the stop to that right quick, and again, it's a bond. So to your point, I agree. I'm not I wore the shirt, the Cowboys cave shirt. It's got the logo in it, but for me to wear another team jersey ain't gonna happen. In all
No,
fairness.
no. No, and so I talked about it on Sunday, and you being a unbiased football fan. So you see the trade go down with Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Cowboys give up a 4th round pick. I want a guy you got no skin in the game. You're not a Niners fan. You're not any fan. You're just a unbiased opinion. What was your thoughts initially? You see that trade going down?
My jaw hit the floor. And first of all, I said, look what what the 49ers gave up to get him, right? So for them just to trade him away like that, and I think it's crazy. I think the Cowboys got a steal out of the deal. I was with, Camo Piper, our favorite 49ers fan. I saw him Saturday. He was just not happy about it. He was pissed because, again, it wasn't necessarily that he expected Trey Lance to play or he hope Brock Purdy lived up to all the expectations. But that being
Yeah,
said, they gave up a lot to get Trey Lance. And I think,
3 1st round
but my
picks.
question is this. Okay, I think it's a great pickup for the Cowboys. I did scratch my head a little bit because your backup last year won. It was 4-1, I think, when Dak Prescott was out. Do you think that this is a move to push Prescott? Because I think his contract year is season after next. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think that, and I think he's due a lot of money this year. I think for the Cowboys, this means nothing for this year. I mean, he's going to learn under Prescott. He's not going to be the number 2 quarterback. I think what they've got is you got a young quarterback that's got a lot of upside that hasn't produced, right?
Yes.
So you're getting him for a 4th round pick. I just think it's like a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
You might maybe you strike gold with it, maybe you hit it, maybe you don't. The thing is now they've got a little bit of protection because when they re-signed Dak before, they had nothing. I mean, it was you better sign him or you got nothing. Well, at least now, if there was ever a transition, if Dak got hurt again, if they stumble in the playoffs, if you have all that, you've got options. If Dak wants $70 million, I mean, I'm just throwing
Yeah.
all these crazy things out there. Football's a business, and I don't understand like every other position. If we would have brought in a young cornerback that was a 1st round pick and he came in, everyone would be doing backflips. They wouldn't say, well, what
Right.
about Trayvon Diggs? You're going to hurt his feelings. Look, man, these guys are professionals. They're
Right.
competitors. Dak Prescott ain't worried about Trey Lance. I promise you that. He ain't going to affect him one bit. He ain't going to push him. He ain't going to do any of that. Dak Prescott knows what he needs to do. He knows the pressure that's on him. That's being a Dallas Cowboy quarterback, and all the outside noise that's coming anyway. So whether you do it or you don't, but you cannot not make a move that could benefit your team just because you're worried about outside noise or somebody's
Now,
feelings.
and again, but I think first of all, you got to steal, like we said, for just a fourth rounder. I think it's a steal because you're not losing much. Okay, but who's depth chart now? Who's number two? Cooper Rush or Trey Lance?
No, Cooper Rush is going to be number 2, but Cooper Rush has no upside. Cooper Rush, I mean, he was a very nice quarterback. Don't get me wrong; he can win you a couple games. There's no upside. What you saw from Cooper Rush is what you get. He threw for 100 yards in a game and they won. The defense elevated themselves. The defense won a lot of those games. Cooper Rush didn't mess it up. You got to give him credit. But if Dak Prescott, God forbid, ever went down for a season-ending injury, you're not winning the Super Bowl with Cooper Rush. And I don't know if you'd win it with Trey Lance, but I'm saying at least
Yeah.
Trey Lance, he's got some upside. He's 23 years
Yeah.
old. I mean, they've got 2 years to figure it out. If everything is great with Dak and the contract and everything works out well, maybe they got leverage to trade him. Maybe he's trade bait to another team. Quarterbacks, someone said you should draft a quarterback every year just for the simple fact of trade bait. Because if you strike gold with one of the quarterbacks, it's trade bait to get multiple picks later. So I'm not going to get, hung up over the whole Trey Lance thing. I think it was a smart move by the team. There was a lot of stuff saying, well, they didn't consult with Dak Prescott. They don't need to consult with anyone. I mean, and everything happens so fast, but they don't need to consult with a player on who they want to get. I mean, this is the business side of football. And so I just think it was a great pickup. Like I said, I don't think it's going to impact this team this year in any way, but I think it's something where you get a 23-year-old kid who was a third overall pick for a fourth rounder. That's not too bad.
No, and I agree with you. I mean, but my opinion, again, being an outsider and having no skin in this game, is that I think in the back of my mind that I thought about it. First of all, I said it's a hell of a pickup. Then as I thought about it, I said, and I looked at, I didn't know when Dak's contract was up. I looked and it was, like I said, the season after this. I said, maybe they are having that, him looking over his shoulder a little bit. That's me as an outsider thinking that might be the case.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, got to show some love to my Eva. She's saying she misses me. Well, hopefully Dad makes it back home safely. Of course, going to be very careful, make sure I get back home safe. But hopefully I'll be back home tomorrow afternoon after we handle a little bit of business in Georgia, handle some family business, and then we get back down. So, thinking, let's see, what do you say? I think Dak, what did it say? I missed it. I can't see, guys. I think, D-line is fine. I tell you, O-line, and I don't know how your O-line is, Jimmy, but I think O-lines around the league, when you get outside the starters, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's a lot of quality depth, and I'd love to see the Cowboys get some quality depth. You probably want to see the Falcons get some quality. I mean, I think every team would love to get some quality depth, but I just don't know if it's. I don't know if it's out.
Yeah, it is. With the O line, Coach Smith on the Falcons said every spot is open. They cut Jalen Mayfield, he's starter 2 years, one of Fontenot's first draft picks. They cut his ass a couple days ago. Like you said, that's the business of it. Bergeron, vive le Quebec! Matthew Bergeron is taking over his spot. He took Jalen's spot on the line.
His spot.
Yes. so yeah, I mean, like you said, there's not much depth at that position, right? It's next man up and pray.
Yeah. I mean, it's just hard. It's hard to get it, but I think Dallas, at least speaking on Dallas, I think it's good. I think their line is good. It's just tiring. And I tell you that Asim Richards, the kid from North Carolina, he showed a lot of upside. They've got some guys there. It's going to be interesting to see how this 53 shakes out. The one saving grace is, I don't know if it's true or not, Jimmy. Maybe you got some insiders. I wish we had Uncle Cheech on, but we got too late for him, so we're going to have to rain check Uncle Cheech. Hopefully Wednesday, if we got power, we're going to get Uncle Cheech on. But it's just Neville Gallimore, I'm hearing he's going to make the cut. So this saves the intro. But we had a backup plan. We got a backup plan, and we still may utilize the backup plan a little bit because maybe my man Eugene Lockhart, who I was talking to, this past weekend, maybe he might have to drop a video or two.
Well, you know what? He's hungry. Mr. Lockhart's hungry. Now, you know what? I'm looking forward to, with us, we have such a dramatically different defense than we have in past year. To have Grady Jarrett on one end and Calais Campbell on the other, I'm happy, man. We're going to have a strong pass rush this season, Onyemata. And I think we're going to be tougher than people think. Usually we've had a weak defense. We've been porous. We give up a lot of yards on the pass, and I'm just feeling a lot better this year than I have in a long
No, it's
time.
good. And I saw my best half. She said she missed me too. So it's good to
Oh,
see. It's good to see the family's missing me. That makes me feel a little better. You know what makes me feel even better sometimes is Jimmy, I get these cameos. So I got 2 more to do when I get home. But I did a cameo for a fantasy football league in Switzerland.
damn.
We're worldwide. I told you that. We're worldwide
This is
here.
international, baby. Now, is it in English, or do I need to drop a little French knowledge on you? Like, how's this working? Because they speak like 3 languages
No, it
there.
was I Google Translate was good for some of the names. I just wanted to make sure I got the, pronunciations right,
Yeah.
which it helped me out. So we were good there. So I'm feeling, I felt good. They gave me 5 stars. Hopefully they did. Someone gave me 5 stars, either them or the other one. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, don't forget, this is a segment that's going to be going on all our shows right here.
Wake up to win, and they don't understand nothing else. They're not all about glamour. They're not all about the women, the girl. Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.
I need somebody.
But
So
you know what it is?
hopefully,
When you play that video, just look at like what the guys what they're wearing, these big ass. I mean, they look like beasts. They look like monsters. So I mean, it's so different when you look at that era versus now, right? Think about all the and
Oh.
maybe I'm straying a little here, but look at all the damn pads they were wearing and they were beating the hell out of each other. Dudes were getting lit up. Quarterbacks were getting lit up. Meanwhile, with all this player safety bullshit, guys, there's been 3 preseason games that were suspended because of major injuries this season, and it's happening all the time. So I don't want to hear anything about this player safety crap because it seems to be doing nothing.
no,
Right?
no, I agree. It was a different era, but more importantly, someone thinks that the Falcons' weak point is their quarterback right now.
Well,
So
okay, but again, what did you said about Trey Lance? There's nothing but upside with Ritter. There's nothing but upside. He played well leading out of the end of last season, and again, I think that they like what you're doing with Prescott this year. You guys seem to be building an offense around him. We're building an offense around Ritter. Now, hopefully, he steps up to the plate because it's slim pickings behind him. I mean, we got Taylor Henke, who was with Washington last season.
yeah,
I don't want
he's
him
all right.
starting. And then
No, he's a
yeah,
stopgap guy.
right, he's a stopgap.
Yeah. Hey, and also, if you say a little prayer, keep Eugene in your thoughts. His mother was. He said I talked to him over the weekend because we missed him Thursday, and he had to go down to Houston to take care of his mom and this and that. So anyway, he's a great guy. I love Eugene. We got a lot of stuff planned for the show. We got a lot of great guests that we're playing with the show. He's going to be there. The tailgate party we talked about. So there's a lot of good things going on. But Eugene's he's a good dude, great guy. One other thing we had, I don't know if you saw the Mike Sherrard interview. If you guys didn't see it, you're talking about the Dallas Cowboy first round pick, 1986, the wide receiver from UCLA. There was a story because he was issued 88 and very hard to find pictures. Well, I found the picture when he was in 88 in the preseason game. He was 88, and then they switched him to 86. And had he stayed 88, the 88 club would have been totally different. There wouldn't have been an 88 club. Michael Irvin wouldn't have wore 88, and that would have kept it going. But so the picture is a very rare picture. So I'm one who I'm curious, right? So I'm Googling, I'm trying to find it. I found the owner of the picture, the original picture, and I bought it off him.
Yeah.
And so I have it. It's being sent to my house now. It wasn't much because it wasn't much, but so I'm going to send it to Mike Sherrard as a gift for coming into the cave. And I just thought it'd be something maybe he would like because that's the only picture I've ever seen of him wearing an 88 in a Cowboys uniform. I thought it was pretty.
I think
cool.
it's pretty cool. I think it's really nice. You send him a nice prize. It's very thoughtful.
You
of
get a
you.
prize for being on the
That's
show.
right, exactly. So, who we got? The 88 club, Cowboys. Now, wait a minute. So I'm watching what I can while I'm working. Well, that's good. You got to do it on company time, okay?
Company time, and you just leave it. When you leave for work, you just leave it playing. Just have it on shuffle.
Exactly. And then tell your boss to like and subscribe while you're at it. I mean, come on.
Oh
Yeah.
man. So Mark, we talked about the fantasy. So we've got Doug. I got to look through it. We've got a great group. And the only thing I feel bad is my man Jay Tuck, because my stupid brother did not register. I thought there was an open spot and I invited Jay Tuck and then Danny registered.
Yeah.
How he is. So we've got the draft, and EJ has got the first overall pick. You got Troy's a second pick, Mikey's a third pick. Cuts by Jones, my man Fred is the fourth pick. Kelly got the fifth pick, Kelly K9. Danny's got the sixth pick. Jason's got the seventh. Vince, who everyone wants to kill. No, I'm only kidding. Everyone loves Vince. I'm only joking. We all love Vince. He's got the next pick. And then we've got Mark has the ninth pick. Jimmy, you got the 10th pick. I've got the 11th pick. And my man Doug rounds it out with the 12th pick. So we've got a good draft. That's a pretty solid draft. Now I'll reveal it tomorrow. There's a championship ring. Maybe if the Cowboys can't win a ring this year, you guys can get one. You're talking about the Cowboys Cave first annual fantasy football champion, and I'm going to have a little box for it and everything, the little presentation that you can put in your
Nice.
cave. Nothing but the best.
So you'd be like a nice little box. You open it up, like on rock.
We'll have a ceremony.
Like
We'll have to have a ceremony. So.
No, it's going to be fun, man. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. Like I said, I'll be jumping in remotely a couple times. So, hey, do me a favor. Don't forget to send me a link on my email because I won't have access
No,
here.
I'll send it to you so you can jump
Yeah.
in. And then tomorrow night, I know some of the guys are in the chat, so I'll send you guys a link. And if you want to jump in, and this could be like maybe for the first round, you want to jump in. You got Goodell right here. You got Mike Tagg. We announce the first pick, and you can talk some smack. You can hang out for as long as you like. You can cut in and out. So it's going to be it'd be very low key. It'd be a lot of fun, a lot of smack talking, a lot of shit talking, all that kind of stuff that everyone likes. So it's going to be a good time.
That's my championship. It's going to be mine. I'm taking care of all family business, just like MJF did this past week in London, baby.
Hey, the only good thing Mark has, he has an advantage over Mark and Fred have the advantage over a lot of others because Mark is my ride to the tailgate. He's picking me up, so and he's letting me store the tent and all that at his house. And Fred is cooking, so I mean, I gotta if somehow they get an extra pick or something slides out, maybe communication messes up with a guy before them, so they go ahead and get their pick, and then the guy gets fixed. I'm not involved in any of that. I know.
Oh, there's already a little flim flam involved, and we haven't even started yet. I thought it'd be Danny pulling that shit, man. Come on.
No, it'll be good. So, hey, football, we're waiting to cut down to the 53. So, that's finalized on Tuesday. Seeing some names, nothing big yet. There's nothing there. It'll be interesting to see what's rolling. But some news, I don't know if you want to share it or not, Jimmy, because you're the baseball guy. But it seems like the Rangers are tumbling. Circling the drain. I don't know if you followed much. They lost like 9 of 10 or something like that. They're out of first place.
And that's the thing. They were cruising, man. And last week somebody mentioned that they lost, and I said, don't worry about it. Yeah, they're. Hey, look, let me tell you something. This is the worst team in sports right now. I hate to say it. So don't feel badly. You guys are at least still in it. We're 19 games back. We have the worst free fall we did ever in the history of our team. So Rangers fans, look, and I know I'm wearing a New York Rangers shirt and all, but look, shit happens. And if you're going to have a little nosedive, now's the time to do it. It's still August. You have plenty of time left. I don't know what the difference is with them and the Astros right now as far as games, but I wouldn't sweat it too much as long as you turn the ship around.
Well, it said that there's 3 spots. So you got Seattle, Houston, and the Rangers. And then you've got, I guess, the Blue Jays and maybe the Red Sox are hanging around. So they're falling. They are falling big time. And my Mets, they stink. The Rays are hanging on, but we got Franco. That, just so you guys know, Franco, that is Vince's favorite player. So he's been crushed ever since all the stuff that happened with Franco.
Yeah.
So that's not a good thing for
No.
them. I mean, they took him, which they should, but you don't know if he's guilty or not. But they took it's like he didn't even exist in the Rays organization when you go to a game.
Which is tough because, like we talked about, and he's the same thing with Michael Irvin. Look, I get it. It's serious. And in his case with Franco, they had pictures of him with this girl. But again, you don't know exactly what happened. And to just completely erase him and he's, guilty till proven innocent, it's very tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's when there's when there's kids, it just, everything changes. The dynamic changes of everything. And I think that's the problem, where that innocent till proven guilty
Four, Steve.
goes away. But it's I hope for all parties that everything works itself out. But I mean, it doesn't look good from a man. So we'll see what happens. So, but yeah. So what else is going on, Jim? I've been driving all over the place. I missed a whole day. I've been running around. What else is happening in the world that I missed?
Well, so it's interesting, and you probably caught on to some of this. I'm not understanding this thing with the Dolphins and trying to pick up. First was Josh Jacobs, and he ended up signing with the Raiders on a 1-year deal. Then all of a sudden today was Jonathan Taylor they're looking to pick up. And I'm just trying to figure out this obsession with Miami picking up a running back when we've said how many times, how often, this is a 2 running back league. They had 2 solid running backs last year, got the job done. Why all of a sudden are they in the mix for a running back? I'm scratching my head. I don't get it.
Well, I think it's whenever you can upgrade. I mean, you're talking Taylor. I mean, the names you mentioned are top tier running backs. And Taylor hadn't signed with anyone yet, has he?
No, he hasn't. And ironically, the Colts, I guess, were looking at Kareem Hunt. That was the latest. They were talking about that today. The latest gossip around the league.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with the running back, I mean, they just don't have any leverage of nothing. If you can get Taylor, but if you trade for Taylor, does he want a new deal, and are you willing to give it to him, or does he just want to get out of Indianapolis just to prove a point and just go somewhere else? So that's the part that is that they got to figure out. Now, I don't know what I heard the rumors of Miami. I've heard Philly. They picked up a couple running backs. You think that they'd be fine, but it goes back to the Trey Lance.
Right.
If you get an opportunity to improve your team, I mean, you've gotta take it. And they had the Cowboys, talking about. I saw some rumor about one of the Jets running backs, because they got Dalvin Cook, and maybe the Jets, might want to, part with one of their running backs that they've got, because they've got. They got Carter, they got Brees, and they got Dalvin. I mean, maybe they think they're a little heavy, and maybe they can improve their roster somewhere else. Like the thing that Dallas has is Dallas's defensive line. They're a little rich in their defensive line. They could probably trade, 1 or 2 of their guys. Otherwise, they're going to cut them and try and get something for him of any value.
But a lot of these running back, okay, so Mark was right. Josh Jacobs signed with the Raiders, but it was a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many of these guys are signing for 1-year deals. A lot of players, not just running backs, but it just, again, a lot of them are running backs, and it just goes to show you they're finding that spot, that position to be expendable all of a sudden. It's almost a throwaway, because it's a two-headed situation at running back. It's kind of crappy, right? I mean, okay, you're getting a season of $12 million guaranteed. That's great, but it's 1 season.
But you look at Pollard, and Pollard he didn't make crap for years, and then he did the franchise. He couldn't sign that franchise tag fast enough, because he's getting $10 million. You don't know if you're going to see that kind of money again. And I think a lot of these running backs are going to go on 1 or 2 year deals. But I tell you what, my man Steve, the Jets are gonna, don't sleep on them, but the one who might be going to sleep is Aaron Rodgers come week 2, because Micah Parsons and tanking them boys. That offensive line is in trouble, and we're the wrong team to be playing with a bad offensive line. I'll tell you that. I'm worried about the man's safety.
Hey, Steve, I sat here, what was it, last week, and said that the Jets will win the AFC East. That's my prediction. I agree with you. Don't sleep on them. Look, they have Dalvin Cook. I think they're going to be able to spread things out now. Their offensive line is not as bad as everybody says it is. It's not the best, but it isn't that bad. I think they're taking the AFC East. Again, I have the Bills taking a wild card spot unless Tua stays healthy. I think that's the most interesting division right now in football.
Well, I got distracted because I need someone to do a full scale investigation because Micah's streaming on Twitch and he said earlier he's hungry for the season. I need to
Mm.
make sure if he's taking any of our intellectual property that he at least gives us, ample credit,
Okay.
to my man Eugene because we, as Rocky once said, we invented that. So,
That's yeah, you know what? I hope that's the case. Hopefully there's some props given, you know?
just show some love to the
Right.
cave and Eugene.
And tell them to like and tell everybody to subscribe and share and everything else, right? But no,
Absolutely.
what I was saying was, and first of all, I think you're right. We need a full scale investigation to figure that out. And getting back to what I was saying, the AFC East, I think, is the most interesting division in the NFL
Oh,
because it's just the Patriots have a
any
chance, yes,
team.
but I think it's
Yes.
Jets, Bills with the wild card, unless Tua stays upright and healthy, then them Dolphins get in the wild card.
No, I think when you look at top to bottom division, you've I think the East top to bottom is the best. I think you've got I think you've got the West probably with what you got with Mahomes and you got the Chargers and
Yeah,
Broncos if they make that turn back with Sean Payton, they could be three of the better stacked teams together. But the East is number
it
one
is.
by I think, and then I would probably say the West is right there. In the AFC, I think it's good. I think the Steelers. You and I both had the
Yes.
Steelers. As a surprise team. I think don't sleep on them either.
Nope.
It's going to be interesting to see how this season plays out. I think the AFC's got their work cut out. What I'm hoping for is they're just going to end up beating the hell out of each other, almost like the NFC did before. And then you're going to get the NFC. We're going to be refreshed and invigorated, and then we'll take care of the AFC in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, definitely like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate the reminders. Your boy's always bad at that. That's very important. We're getting very close to 2,000 subscribers, and we're almost to another milestone. We've reached one milestone where we could do super chats and super things and all this kind of fun stuff, but we're getting further and further along into the channel. We got a lot of good stuff coming on, so make sure you continue to spread that
No,
word.
you know what it is. You mentioned about the Broncos, and I don't know if I probably shouldn't be saying this because maybe somebody might drop the ball tomorrow night during the draft. But Jerry Judy's gonna be out. I think at least the first 2 or 3 games already. Which again, I was never really high on that wide receiver core anyway. But again, with a new coach, I think Russell Wilson, he's reinvigorated too. I think we'll see what happens from them. But like you said, you got the Chiefs in that division. You got problems.
No, you got big problem. And I think to your point with like Judy with the injury, sometimes those hamstrings, man, that's a season long.
Yeah.
It's not a quick fix. It's gonna be a problem. Mark is gonna be drafting all Cowboys in tomorrow night. I like it. I think you can never go wrong. You can never have like Michael Irvin said, you can never have enough Hurricanes on your team. You can never have enough Cowboys on your fantasy
You
football
can
team.
never enough,
I believe
never
that.
enough trophies in life. That's what I say. That's why I'm taking that ring with that fantasy. If I'm going to make it my pinky ring, so you're going to size me up.
It is a beautiful piece of jewelry. It's nothing but the best. It's got gold. It's going to be gold with the diamonds all around. It's, diamonds are forever. Isn't that what they say?
Yes.
So,
Yeah. So yeah,
so
it's going to be fun. And then this is the best part. Now that and I know we've had the Tuesday night fantasy show, which has been entertaining and fun, and a lot of ball breaking, which is really fun. But once you start when the drafts begin, and you're basically a week and a half, 2 weeks out, this is when the fun begins. I know that you're a big college guy. I'm really not, but I know that starts maybe next weekend, Labor Day weekend.
full slate. We got
Yeah.
a full slate this weekend. We had Uncle Cheech. I want to show you guys. We had Uncle Cheech. I was working on his intro. Let me show you his intro. He's going to have to do a rain check, but at least tease you with Uncle Cheech. So we got Uncle Cheech. He is ready. He's going to be bringing in all. So if you guys love gambling, you guys need some help. Uncle Cheech is your guy. He's going to be here every Monday from this point. start next week, but because of the hurricane and some things like that, he's going to be on Wednesday, weather permitting, if he's got power in his house, of course. He's going to be doing, he'll be providing the picks. If not, he did send them to me, so I will release them on Wednesday if he's not available, because it's very important to get it. He don't shy away. He picked the Miami game. He picked the FSU LSU is the big game on Labor Day. That's going to be a big game. So make sure you guys, it's a full slate. So it's going to be a lot of fun. College football this weekend is just going to whet the appetite for what's coming. And we are very, we're a week and a half away. It is almost here. And that means the hype video, your boy's he's charged up. I can't be too loud because they'll throw me out of this hotel. I'll be living in the car. So what's coming. So make sure Tuesday we got the fantasy football. Wednesday, Kelly and I, because of Thursday football and college, we're moving to Wednesday. So we're going to switch our day a little bit earlier. So we'll be on live on Wednesday night to get you guys prepped up for the weekend of college football and the pros.
Hey, I tell you, I don't know if because I think we're all in agreement here. None of us like the Eagles. None of us like Philadelphia. Right? See what Anthony Richardson did the other day? The quarterback.
Oh, fly Eagles fly.
I was like, wow, that's ballsy, man. I watched that about 10 times. I couldn't stop laughing.
Boy, but they were like, I loved it because they made fun of the Eagles and their fans and all that stuff but for preseason, man, that's a lot of. You're smack talking a lot for preseason. You saw what the Washington team did. You thought they would have won the Super Bowl when they beat the Ravens. They snapped their preseason streak, and you would have thought they just won the Lombardi. So I don't get it, but some of these guys are young guys, and they're just playing with a lot of energy because they wanna. They're showcasing themselves. This is their opportunity.
Yeah, but you know what it gets back to? Remember, we were younger, and especially with prime time. I was a Falcons fan, and when people were allowed to trash talk and have fun, and even we play backyard football. We talk shit and go off on each other, and we still do sometimes. When we're hanging out, and it's just the NFL just cut down on a lot of that fun stuff, right? I think that's fun. I'm cool with the trash talk, and let them trash talk, right? Who cares? I thought it was great.
Oh no, it was funny when we had Mike Sherrard on. He talked about going up against Dion when he was with the Giants. He was their number one receiver. He talked about lining up with Dion, and he just said Dion would be there, and he's got the flamboyant. He's going, but he was unbelievable. He was just, the speed is something he just never could. You just can't say enough about it. And he would just bait you. He'd get bored, so he'd try and bait you into doing it. So it was, those are fun times when you had the personalities that could be themselves, and you can just have the passion for the game. And unfortunately, they take some of that out, but they let them do the celebrations in the end zone. Some of it's really cool. Some of it gets corny, but I love the natural reaction, the sack natural reaction you get, like with Parsons, and when you got Dion, or you get Diggs, or you get any of these guys. That's what you love to see. You just don't want to see him getting any penalties because of that. I think it's ridiculous. I'm trying to remember the game where a guy got a personal foul, and it was like during a playoff game. It was the stupidest thing. And you don't want to ever see that change the trajectory of the game or the outcome.
But that's the whole point. I'm going to get the Falcons thought in just a minute. Look, I'm of the opinion. Give them, if somebody wants to do their own thing and trash, give them like I don't know, like an imaginary time, like 5 seconds. You can go off and go crazy and do whatever you want. Hell, man, I was playing, what's that cornhole game where you throw the bean back, and I'm going off and going crazy all in the backyard on Saturday, because that's the way we grew up, right? Now to Falcons' point, I couldn't imagine Deion Sanders would not have left Atlanta, right? Now remember, we let Brett Favre go. We traded him basically for nothing because they thought Chris Miller was a man, and Chris Miller was a good quarterback. But Brett Favre, admittedly, he said he was a head case. He'd show up at practice hung over quite a bit. Him and Glanville, sometimes they butted heads. Actually, they butted heads quite a bit. Glanville broke his balls because Glanville was pissed. He would show up unprepared, late, hung over, all this stuff. So again, hindsight's 2020. But man, if now fast forward, let Favre go to Green Bay. Chris Miller gets hurt in the fourth or fifth game of the season, and it goes downhill. And what a reversal of fortune, because you're right. That would have been Dion on defense. It would have been Brett Favre on offense. We would have had a 10, 12-year run. It would have been great.
And the thing you don't know is how would Brett Favre have been if he stayed? Like you said, he had a lot of issues. Would he have developed? Would he have matured?
Yeah.
The fresh start did him well. And it was like Clarence had mentioned, I think on Sunday's show and when Sunday morning when we were talking, talking about the Trey Lance thing and more, a lot of people call him a bust. A lot of people called Favre a bust till he got to Green Bay. Sometimes you need a fresh start. Sometimes you need a reality check. Sometimes Brett Favre had a lot of ego, a lot of this, a lot of that. Maybe he needed to be, what is it called? Humiliated or whatever the word is if I'm missing it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
So I think maybe that's humbled. Need
Humble.
to be humbled. I should have thought of
Iron
Iron
Sheik.
Sheik a little bit, but by it, and that's why I say with Trey Lance, a la even Brett Favre is. I don't know what the Packers gave up. Maybe it wasn't much, but I mean the Cowboys only gave up a 4th round pick for a 23-year-old. You know it's worth the risk. It paid off dividends for the Packers getting Favre and got him in, wake up call and he realized his potential. So that's what I say. You just don't know how they
Right.
work out, and it could be situational based. It could be the environment that they're
Yeah.
in, an opportunity.
And the irony is Andre Rison ended up winning a Super Bowl with the guy 5 seasons later. Go figure. And
Oh, Bad Moon
yeah,
Rising. I like
Bad
him.
Moon Rising. I know. I wish we can get. I know you're working your magic to try to get him on the show. That would be great.
I would love to get him on. I've reached out. I've tried. I'm going to continue to try. Maybe my man, maybe Eugene might know him. We'll try that.
Yeah.
I'll try that angle.
Well, they
I did.
they played at the same
Mike
time.
Sherrard did say James Washington. He's going to put a word in. Cowboys safety, Super Bowl champion, who arguably could have probably got Super Bowl MVP in Super Bowl 28. When the Cowboys and the Bills, he had that couple big turnovers in the end of the game, really changed the complexity of the complexion of the game for the Cowboys. So anyway, it's we got to just keep spreading the word, man. We'll get
That's
them out
right.
there.
No, exactly. And it's good, like you said, making connections and hopefully them, hooking us up. That'll be fun. I mean, again, he has so many stories to tell. And you're talking about Eugene. They overlap. I know that I think Eugene in one of his final games with Dallas played against the Falcons that season before he left for New England. And
they definitely overlapped. I mean, Ryzen was what 89.
89, yeah. So
I remember his pro set. So I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
That pro set. And Eugene was 90. He played till 92. I think it was his last year in New England somewhere in
that
there.
was.
So.
I think that he would have played during the Babe Laufenberg game, if I remember. That would have been one of the games.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Don't remind me of that.
All right. Well, that was Chris Miller, our great quarterback, who we let Brett Favre go for. But anyway,
Babe Laufenberg, great Cowboys play-by announcer. He does a color commentary with Brad Sham. They're a great team. So I don't want to knock Babe Laufenberg too much.
No, you know what? Hey,
just wasn't the NFL starting quarterback.
Right, exactly. So, but yeah, and that's the thing, like we said, Ryzen, you take a guy like him. I mean, he saw so many different things. He from a crummy team that he joined. Then we were good, made the playoffs with him a few years, and the whole thing with prime time and the whole thing with Left Eye, and then going on to Green Bay. I mean, he just has so many good stories. I'm sure he can tell. Probably some pretty funny ones too.
Yeah, and he started with the Colts, if my memory's right.
You
guys traded for him. He originally was with the Colts.
Yes, that is right. And then the irony is we ended up with Jeff George a few years later. I don't know if you remember that. Well, 95.
That was another one, just all the talent, but he didn't have it right there.
Yeah.
To make it, to get that next level. As I sometimes people get so enamored with the throws and this and that, they don't look at the total package of them as leaders and them, being able to put the work in. I mean, quarterback's the toughest job in sports, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, you got quarterback, pitchers, and goaltender, like ice hockey goaltender. Those are your 3 toughest. And in football, your quarterback, you stand there, you can get your ass blown up. Then it's 15 yards nowadays. You can't touch the quarterback, but still, you're just standing there sometimes. And I agree with you. That is probably the toughest spot. Pitcher, goaltender, those 3.
No, absolutely. Goaltender in hockey. I'm not a big hockey, but that's got to be rough. Yeah, Steve. Miami Hurricanes. We are back. We're going to slap down the Miami of Ohio. Now, I'm going to tell you this, Uncle Cheech, to give you a teaser. He picked this game. and I don't want to say who he picked, but he picked Miami. I'm just going to call it that. I'm going to give you one teaser. He said Miami's going to annihilate him. I guess the Miami of Ohio team has been talking some noise, saying that they're the real Miami team. So there's going to be. I don't think they're going to let up on these guys. So it might get as the icon once said, it might get real ugly in there. So we'll see
What
what
are you
happens.
bringing up that minor league four up in Ohio? Bunch of losers.
Yeah. No, this defense, they need to come up with a good name. But and then I think Falcon.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna have to trust you. I don't know who that is, Jimmy. Do you know who that
Yeah.
is?
Actually, that would be a
Okay, is
solid
he good?
pickup. Yeah. That'd be a
Would he be a good
yes.
pickup? All right. Well, there you go. Jimmy
Well,
says he would
it's
be a
all
good
about
pickup.
next man up, man.
Well, the thing is we talked about like with Dallas's linebackers, like they're talking about, it looks like Jabril Cox is probably going to get cut. Or so they say. I mean, these are all rumors, and they were talking about Kevin Joseph. So you've got these linebackers. You could say we're thin, right? You lost Overshown, so you got LVE. You've got Clark. You got Harper. Some unproven guys, but I tell you, I mean, we had Kyle Yeomans from DallasCowboy.com. He said. I mean, he put his bold move. Bold prediction is going to be Clark is going to be a Pro Bowler if he plays 15 games. So he's high on him. But the thing that the Cowboys have, you don't play a lot of linebackers in their defense as much, but they've got the safeties. They got Marquise Bell. You've got Jaron Curse. So you've got so much depth at safety. Those guys are like hybrids. So I don't know if the Cowboys make a lot of moves on defense. I think they feel pretty good about their defense. I don't know. I think if they're going to make any kind of moves after cut down, I think they're looking possibly at offensive line to try and see if there's something out there for them to get. And I don't know if there's going to be much, but maybe there's something out there for
Yeah,
them.
but like it's so hard to find, like you said, that depth at
Yeah.
offensive line is tough. But I guess we'll see. What
No.
is it tomorrow at 5 p.m. Is it?
They got to do, yeah. They got to get down by Tuesday, and then then the scramble comes because really you got the 53, but you've got your practice squad, which they've expanded so much. So you're gonna spread that out. Now the kicker, to Fred, they like Aubrey. I mean, he had a 59 yarder. He missed a 59 yarder, but he bounced back and hit one. He made all his extra points. Where if you're a Cowboys fan, that's got to make you pretty happy. So I think they're going to roll with Aubrey, but you see a Mason Crosby, you see, Robbie Gould out there, you see these guys, but I mean, look at their percentages. They were, except Gould, I liked him,
Yeah.
but Mason Crosby, he was struggling some. So, I mean, would you rather bring a veteran just saying, okay, I'm comfortable with him because he's a known commodity, he's older, or do you bring a young guy in who had some success, give him a shot, and then if he fails, then bring in Crosby to try and save the day, or Robbie Gould? I don't know. Everything, all signs point for the Cowboys is they like Aubrey, and that's who they're going to stick with. So we'll see what happens.
But it is tough with especially a guy like Gould. That's a guy. You know what I mean? He won't be he won't be a free agent too long because somebody's going to screw up early or get hurt.
He makes he made big kicks, especially at big kicks in the playoffs. So, me personally, I don't know. I'm kind of torn because the kicker, people forget how important these games are. I mean, how many games come down to one possession, come down to a field goal?
Yeah.
So God, you want someone you could trust. And I think the Cowboys just haven't had someone they can trust since Dan Bailey. I mean, you're going back a number of years, and it just doesn't seem like the organization puts a lot of value in the kicker. They're just picking guys up and, get some retreads, you get some young guys. I mean, I don't know. Who's your kicker? Your kicker's been here for a few years.
Young Wei Koo. He's been with us. This is season three. Third season. And I got news for you. He's money. Last year, 6 of our games went down to one possession. 4 of them were field goals. Now, again, we didn't put him in a spot to end the game, but I have full faith in him. That guy is really good. He can, kick long. I don't have to worry about him on extra points. So we have a lot of faith in him, and he's, young. He's younger too. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing, and the minute that dude misses a field goal, the Cowboys fans are going to go ape shit. And
look at Fred.
That's just the way it's going to be. I mean, it's the way it's going to be because we all are wondering about a kicker. And you've heard it for years. I mean, even when they had Maher last year, people weren't, then he became Money Maher until the playoff game. But even people were like, no, man, here's another guy. He struggled. He lost his stuff here. So it's the lonely life of a kicker. They got one job, and that's to make the field goal, and they better make all of them, otherwise they're gonna hear it, and that's just unfortunately the job they've chosen.
So can we say that that's the second most difficult job on a football team? We said quarterback was one.
Well, I don't want to say it's the most difficult because those other guys take beatings, so I wouldn't put a kicker
Stressful?
there. I think mentally,
Yeah.
I think it's probably the toughest mental job out there because of or at least second, maybe the quarterback, because I mean, they get in such a rhythm, man. It's just like, I don't know. When they get in a funk, like you saw that Meyer, man. I was there at the game. It was pathetic. It got to a point where you were just really feeling bad for him because he was out there, he was doing all his stuff, and he was doing all these, his routine, and he kept missing them. And the guy's probably hit a million of them, just like we talked about with Chuck Knobloch, and I think it was Sachs or the other one?
Steve Sachs,
and, it just gets in your head, and you get the yips, and it's done. I mean, remember Vanderjack when he was with the Colts? He was money. He came to Dallas. He couldn't make a damn field goal. Finally, I think he went in there and said, "Man, you guys got to cut me. I stink." It's just it's hard.
No, and I remember that game last year you were talking about, and I'm like, wow, you just feel for the guy, right? It sucks because like you said, they've done it over and over. That's their life. They've been doing that for years and years and years, and then you get that mental block, and then you're screwed.
Hey, what's up, Tommy? I don't know if I've seen Tommy in here lately. Have you?
Nope.
I don't know.
How's it going, Tommy?
If you're new, we appreciate it. If I seen you, because I recognize the names. I don't know if it's someone I interact with just on Twitter or if he's been on here. I'm sorry. It's getting late. It's getting tough. So I don't know, Jimmy, if you don't have anything else, man, I got to get up early. I got a long day, and then I got another 6-hour drive home, and hopefully it won't be raining.
Well, we're not going to. Well, first of all, safe travels. And like I said, I hope and pray, for yourself, the family, and the state of Florida and Georgia, that everything, hurricane goes easy on you. I did want to say in closing, though, rest in peace. Man, wrestling world lost Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt, and we lost Bob Barker this week. So, week, man. So rest in peace to all three of them guys.
No, definitely. I concur. I don't know the
Steve.
wrestlers that well, except for Terry Funk. I didn't know the other one that well. I think it was Mike Rotunda's son.
Yes, that's Mike Rotunda's son.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, it was his grandfather was Blackjack Mulligan. That was his
Blackjack
that
Mulligan.
was his grandfather. If I remember correctly, I might be wrong about that.
See, I thought, was he Barry Windham? No relation to Barry Windham?
That was his uncle.
Yeah. Okay. I knew there had been something there. So yeah, definitely appreciate everyone jumping in. I mean, we started late. I know what our normal show, but things happen, but we deliver. We came in. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you tune in. We got a fun show tomorrow night. It's going to be laid back. If you watched our happy hour, it's going to be kind of like that. We're going to be drafting. We're going to be cracking on each other. It's going to be just a shit talk fest. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And then Wednesday, Kelly K9 and I will be back in the cave talking all Cowboys. We'll have the final roster down. We'll go run through everything, get your guys' feeling, be really interactive, and get this season started. Then, of course, we got college football on the weekend. Your boy might pop in on Sunday. We got a busy show. So this thing is rolling. You guys see, we're just kind of getting everything ready. I can't scream too much. I don't want to be in the parking lot getting kicked out. So I appreciate it. Make sure you guys, please, hit that subscribe, like, share. Appreciate it. Tommy, man, thank you. And if there's anything else, Jimmy, I think we're gonna leave on that.
Sounds good. Like I said, safe travels. I will see everybody. Well, tomorrow night I'll see you at the draft.
All right. I will see you guys. Take care. Thanks again. Appreciate everyone who listened.
The Eagles getting ready, because you might not like it, but you will learn to love it, because we are the best thing going today. Now, can you dig it?